Hey guys, Ashwin Sundar here from Technology Jock, and if you remember around a month and a half back when I got my hands on the ROG Phone 3, I skipped the unboxing because everyone does that anyway, and you're also having a pretty good idea of what comes inside the box these days. So I just thought I should do something else, share my experience so far. So last time I did that and I received an amazing response from you guys. So I just thought I should turn it into a series of videos. So this is the second video of the series, and we have the Realme 7 Pro here. I received it around a week ago, but I've been using this only for like 2 days. So let me just clear things up for you right away. This is not a review or a full review or anything even close to a review. This is just a video where I share my experience with you, my experience so far. Like, let's say you go to a store and buy a new phone or even order online. When you receive the phone, when you open the box and start using the phone for a couple of days, during those first 24 to 48 hours, you come across some things that surprise you, that make you really happy and satisfied. And at the same time, you also come across certain things that kind of disappoint you. So I'm trying to give you that experience, that same experience that I've been going through for the past 48 hours. So that is what this video is about. This is not a full review. It's alright, I can play however I want with this phone because I've got Glazed Ink tempered glass on it. Glazed Ink, if you didn't know, they're our sponsor for this video.
What's special about Glazed Ink is that they have actual 2.5D curved glass along the edges, so the entire screen is covered. No air bubbles or awkward gaps like these, which you might get from installing any other tempered glass in the market. They are also available for most other phones, including the OnePlus 7T and the Redmi Note 8 Pro. So do check out Glazed Ink, link in the description. Use the promo code TJOCK to get 10% discount.
Okay, first things first, why is this guy on the box? Is the Realme 7 Pro footpath proof or something? Anyway, the first such thing that I noticed as soon as I opened the phone is the 60 Hz refresh rate. Now guys, I've always maintained that 60 Hz is okay, it's good enough, and the difference between 60 and 90 is not very noticeable. But the thing is, why I'm mentioning this is because I personally have been using a lot of phones with a minimum of 90 Hz refresh rate for the past several months, actually, for almost a year or so. Like right before this, I was using the OnePlus 8 Pro and the ROG Phone 3, which have like 120, 144 Hz display. So coming from 144 to 60, I could definitely notice a huge difference. But if you've been using a 60 Hz phone and you're probably happy with it, then you won't really mind the 60 Hz display. This is kind of weird because this is the Realme 7 Pro. The Realme 7, which is 5,000 rupees cheaper than this one, has a 90 Hz display. But here's the catch. That one has an LCD display and this one has a Super AMOLED display. Now, Super AMOLED doesn't necessarily mean that it's wow, it's fantastic. No, that's not how it is. There are bad Super AMOLED panels as well, and there are good LCD panels as well. And this one is an excellent Super AMOLED panel. I know I've been using this only for a couple of days, but trust me, this is even better than the Realme X3 Super Zooms display. That one comes with an LCD panel and it wasn't that good. But this one is fantastic. It goes up to 600 nits brightness according to Realme, and it covers 98% of the NTSC color gamut. So the colors are quite impressive. The colors are like reasonably accurate as well. So you are definitely going to be happy with the display. And the third thing that I noticed is the fingerprint scanner. That's obviously one of the first things that you notice. Realme, ever since their first phone in India, like they've been nailing one thing, and that's the fingerprint scanner. Their phones have the fastest fingerprint scanners. Like they're at least among the fastest scanners. But here on this one, it feels a little slower. It's still fine, it's okay, but it's slower than what I'm used to. Basically, there are other Realme phones with faster in-display fingerprint scanners. So as simple as that. Anyway, so we just saw one thing that, this phone does better than the X3 Super Zoom. Now, that's not the only thing. There's another thing, and it's fast charging. This is the only phone under 20,000 or even 25 or 30,000 to have 65 watt dart charging, or I don't know what they call it, but it's 65 watt charger. So basically, it can charge the phone from 0 to 50% in just 12 minutes. And it can charge from 0 to 100 in just 34 minutes, if I'm right. Now, the best thing about it is, like, Realme claims that, the phone can stay cool even during charging. The phone has all the brains to keep the charging process very efficient. So if that's true, then, I think they even mentioned this in the launch event. Even charging while gaming, it won't get too hot. Of course, these are just Realme's claims, and I haven't had the time to test that out yet. But if that's something you want to see me test, then let me know in the comment section. I'll come up with another video where I do a lot of gaming while charging the phone. Like, I'll just start at 5% charge or 10% and then go up till 100%. Let's also see how much time it takes, like, while gaming. But only if you're interested, so let me know in the comment section. So, a full charge in 34 minutes is pretty crazy. It's a 4500 mAh battery, so it's not very small, and it's also expected to last quite long on a single charge, given that the chip used here is the 720G, Snapdragon 720G chip, which is pretty efficient. But remember, the Realme 6 Pro had the same chip, 720G, so it's kind of disappointing that there's been no upgrade here. And also, another important thing, if you remember, the G90T, which is found on Realme 6, is actually better for gaming than the 720G chipset. So basically, in the last generation, the Realme 6 could do better gaming than the Realme 6 Pro. That was kind of an anomaly, but sadly, that is continuing even now. The Realme 7 got a chip upgrade from G90T to G95, which is even better for gaming, but sadly, the Realme 7 Pro retains the same chip. Anyway, it's not like the 720G is a bad chip or anything. It's good enough for most usage patterns. So let's now move on to the cameras. So we've got a quad camera setup on the rear, a 64 megapixel IMX682 sensor, an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, a 2 megapixel macro camera, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Now, if you're getting a bit of deja vu, it's because just yesterday I covered the Realme 7, which also has the exact same camera setup. But still, Realme has done some things on the software side, which the Realme 7 cannot do. So I'll come to that in a moment. But before that, I'd like to mention that, the Realme 6 Pro had a telephoto camera, but this one doesn't. And at the same time, the Realme 6 Pro had a front-facing ultra-wide-angle camera, but this one doesn't. It just has a single 32 megapixel selfie camera, no ultra-wide selfies, sadly. So coming to the camera software, we've got the AI color portrait video, which just keeps me in focus and everything else is blurred out and becomes black and white, which is a pretty cool feature if you ask me. And apart from that, we've got some nice modes for amazing night photography. Now, again, I get reminded of the Realme X3 Super Zoom here, because we have this thing called the starry mode in the night mode, which is meant to capture the stars, obviously. But of course, like I mentioned previously in another video, being in a metropolitan city, it's hard to even locate the stars, let alone capture them. So I haven't been able to test it out. Once you tap the shutter button, you need to hold the phone for 4 minutes to finish capturing. So that's a bit of a bummer, and I don't think many people will like to use it that way. And apart from that, there is the regular night mode, which gets some nice night shots. And apart from that, there is the Pro Nightscape mode. And switching to that will let you play around with these settings, shutter speed, ISO, focus, and so on. The unique thing here is, even if the shutter speed is above 1 or 2 seconds, usually on other phones, if you go past 1 second or even half a second, the image will turn out very blurry. But in this case, even handheld photo will look sharp, even at 2 seconds or even up to 3 seconds shutter speed. Because what Realme does here is multi-frame image processing. So that's one good thing. We've also got a tripod mode. So in case you have a tripod, or if you're not very good with these settings, you can just switch to the tripod mode, set up a tripod, or just do something like, you can just hold it like this. You can push it against a surface so that it stays very stable. and then you can click on the shutter button and it will get you a really good picture without you having to do anything. You just have to hold the phone and make sure it's stable. And you can also find 3 filters here. Now, I don't endorse filters at all. Filters are getting boring and they're probably never meant to be there in the first place. But over here, these filters actually work really well, These are specifically meant for nightscape images. Okay, forget all these things. Let me actually get up and go click some pictures and then let's see how the images come out. And of course, the design is something you cannot really ignore. They've done something new in the 7 series. I'm kind of bored looking at the same old design that Realme has been implementing on most of their phones. I'm happy to see something new here. It looks unique, definitely pretty good. Even the Realme 7 looks fantastic. One little quirk here for me is this camera setup, which looks slightly weird. It looks funny to me. It's kind of disoriented. Do you agree with me? Let me know in the comment section. And apart from that, some points for Realme for durability factor, because they've got this certification from TUV Rainland.
Oh, wait. Now I get it. Now I get why Salman Khan was on the box. I think it just indicates this durability factor. Like, even if the phone meets with an accident, it will escape without consequences. Yeah, I think that's what this is about.
And this is the first phone in the world to get that certification. Probably others will now try to get it. And another thing that's worth mentioning is that this one has dual stereo speakers. And that's quite amazing.
Inside. I'm hurt. It's empty.
Other noteworthy things that I came across the past 2 days include the triple slot tray, which includes 2 SIM slots and 1 dedicated micro SD card slot, and the case. How can we forget the case? Realme always makes the best cases, and this is no exception. It's quite rigid, solid, and it even protects the display to an extent thanks to the lips on the 4 corners. So those are the first few things that either made me happy, surprised me, or made me sad and disappointed. But do keep in mind, I easily could have missed something that is good or bad about the phone. So, to get a complete idea, a verdict from me, you need to wait for the full review. And please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for that. I really hope you liked the video. If so, definitely let me know in the comment section. This is a new series, so I need some sort of motivation to keep going. So please let me know in the comment section if this is something you would like to see in the future as well. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Ashwin Sundar from Technology Jock. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.